Awatef Adam was on the run, fleeing a weeks-long massacre in Sudan that targeted her tribe. She knew that the Arab militias who were killing her people were specifically looking for men and boys. The 43-year-old mother of 7, whose community are the darker-skinned Masalit people, was escaping to Chad in mid-June with 3 of her children, 1 son and 2 daughters. She had left her other 4 with family and friends in the Sudanese city of El Janina, a tactic she hoped would guarantee the survival of at least some of her children. For the journey, she dressed her 12-year-old son Fayez in a headscarf and a black abaya, the full-length robe worn by some Muslim women. She hoped the disguise would protect him from the militiamen who were hunting for Masalit males. The ruse worked until they reached Shukri, a village about 6 miles from the Chad border. That's where their luck ran out. Adam said 5 men, 2 in Rapid Support Forces uniforms and 3 in traditional robes, spotted Fayez. They surrounded him, then lifted the abaya. He was wearing a shirt and trousers.
They struck him in the head. They were clubbing him with a wooden rod. I told them not to beat him. He's an orphan. Immediately they hit me. I fell down. The beating on my head caused paralysis in my arm. They hit me in the head. I fell down. My husband was struck and he tried to rescue him but couldn't. They hit him again. He fell down. He was hit in the hand. They dragged the boy away and told him to crawl. He was crawling while they were beating him.
Adam had raised Fayez from the age of 3 when his mother, her sister-in-law, died. She says the last words she heard him shout were, "Mama, leave." Reuters spoke to more than 40 mothers who described how their children, mostly boys, were killed by Sudan's Rapid Support Forces paramilitary group known as the RSF or its allied Arab militias. They describe an ethnically targeted killing campaign in and around the West Darfur capital of El Janina. Several mothers of slain children, as well as other witnesses, say Arab militiamen made clear why they were targeting the Masalit boys. The militiamen wanted to be sure the children wouldn't grow up to be fighters and one day seek revenge for the attacks on the Masalit. The RSF didn't respond to questions from Reuters, but in prior statements it has said it wasn't involved in what it calls a tribal conflict in El Janina. Arab tribal leaders have also denied committing abuses and have accused the Masalit of being the aggressors. Saad Bahr el-Din is a Masalit sultan.
The way the attacks took place was well planned by professional people. They brought people from the outside and they used very sophisticated ways to find the personal belongings, to loot their houses and to ravage the economic and service institutions. It's premeditated to eliminate El Janina and to annihilate the Masalit in a few days.
The Masalit were a majority in El Janina until the RSF and Arab militias forced them out this year. Around 500,000 people, mostly Masalit, have fled to neighbouring Chad as a result of the violence. Thousands have died in the attacks. In a Reuters report in November, Masalit women described how they were sexually assaulted by members of the Arab-dominated RSF paramilitary and its militia allies. But witnesses say the killing sprees have specifically targeted males of all ages, including infants as young as 6 months old. 36 of the mothers interviewed by Reuters said their children were shot from close range, 33 of them boys and 8 of them girls. Others said they watched as their children were beaten to death by RSF and Arab militia fighters. Most of these children were killed as they fled with their mothers from El Janina to neighbouring Chad. En route to Chad, 5 survivors described seeing militiamen stop women with babies, check the child's sex, and kill it if it turned out to be a boy. Reuters was unable to independently corroborate the details of some of the accounts for this report. In some cases, friends and neighbours confirmed elements of the survivors' stories. Common patterns also emerged from the descriptions of the violence given by survivors. UN data indicates nearly twice as many adult females as males have crossed the border into Chad. Despite the targeting of males, the gap is less pronounced among children, where there is almost parity between the number of boys and girls. The war against the Masalit erupted amid a broader conflict between the Sudanese armed forces and the RSF, which began in April. In early December, the United States determined that both the RSF and the Sudanese army have committed war crimes since fighting broke out and spread to Darfur. The Biden administration has also accused the RSF and its Arab militia allies of ethnic cleansing. Both the army and the RSF have blamed each other for any abuses committed in the war.